Good morning, everyone, to today's webinar. The webinar, which is being organized by Chandigarh Judicial Academy in collaboration with SEC Online. I welcome you all. My name is Chetan Singh. I'll be the moderator for today's webinar. Today's webinar is on lockdown and surge in cases of domestic violence against women in India. The session would be conducted by Dr. Nandita Kaushik ma'am, who is the ADJ cum faculty member in Chandigarh Judicial Academy. The session would be will go for 1 hour, post which we'll have a questions and answer round, wherein you will be able to ask your questions. I would request all the members that as you've been attending this session from a long time now, that a lot of your questions that you might have in the starting, 90+% of the questions will be addressed by Nandita Kaushik ma'am already during the session. She has so much to share that I'm sure that I will be surprised. I will not be surprised actually if you have very few questions in the last. Without a further ado, I would request Nandita Kaushik ma'am to please start the session. And first of all, thank you, Nandita ma'am, for sparing the time and coming over here. Nandita ma'am, over to you, ma'am, please.
A very good morning to everyone, and thank you, Chetan sir. Today's topic is lockdown and surge in cases of domestic violence against women in India, a roadmap. So, as the topic suggests, officer, during lockdown period, cases of domestic violence against women have increased. Domestic violence has been a reality, but during this lockdown period, there has been intense cases, there has been rising cases of domestic violence against women because of the fact that women were locked down with their abusive partner 24/7. My distinguished audience is well versed with the provisions, statutory provisions. The today's session is going to be sensitization session, and we would be dealing with the following objectives during this session. First of all, as I have told you that the entire objective of this webinar is to sensitize our judicial officers and audience regarding surge in cases of domestic violence cases during COVID-19 lockdown. What are the reasons for rise in such cases? And what can be the global situation, that whether it is only confined in India or it has been rising worldwide? And if it is a worldwide phenomena, officers, what is the global response pattern which we have adopted to meet with this situation? What our government of India is doing to protect women against domestic violence during COVID-19 lockdown? What is the role played by our honorable judiciary and role of NALSA and other legal state services authorities? And I tell you, officers, NALSA and state legal services authorities have done commendable job during the lockdown period to protect the women from domestic violence and to prevent the domestic violence against women. As this session would slowly progress, officers, we would also come to know certain things, and let us see what are these. What is the new name given to domestic violence, officers, during lockdown period? A new name has been given to this violence against women or against other people. Domestic violence, if it is, then what is a new name? What is scaremongering? This term also we would know today, and how this term is related with domestic violence against women. What is the connection between the two? If a woman in Spain asks, I want mask 19, what would that signify? Similarly, what is the role of groceries, pharmacies, and milk booths It is a new role assigned to them. What is that role? And how it is related with domestic violence? This also we would try to understand in this session. Officers, what are one-stop centers? What are Shakti's spotlight initiatives? What are the important directions that have been issued by various honorable high courts in India pertaining to issue in hand? So when the session is over, I think at least I would be able to clarify certain things to you. See, officers, when we say there was lockdown, but there was no lockdown for domestic violence. Officers, entire nation on 24th of March observed the Janta curfew, 14-hour voluntary curfew. And soon after that, what happened? On 24th March 2020, Government of India under Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ordered a nationwide lockdown for 21 days. It limited the movement of entire 1.3 billion population as a preventive measure against COVID pandemic in India. On 24th April again, until 3rd May, it was extended. And now officers, their zones have been created, red zone, orange and green respectively, and we are in unlocked situations depending upon the circumstances in which zone we are falling. Officers, when we are all facing this lockdown, I again emphasize that there was no lockdown for domestic violence against women. United Nations stated there is war in our homes. This is a statement which has been issued by United Nations stating, please go for a ceasefire. There is war in our homes now. Our homes are no more safe places anymore. What is the reasons of rise? Why the situation has been intensified and multiplied during lockdown? Women were locked down with their abusive partners. They could not violate the provisions of COVID-19. They could not run out of their homes. They could not seek any assistance of their relatives, their family, their friends. No neighbors even came forward for their help. Domestic violation is manifesting as a form of release by an abusive partner who are now bound at home. Another reason which can be for intensification is many of the people lost their jobs. There was a lot of economic stress on the people, and that was a trigger point. And wherever it was not experienced during COVID-19, the situation was aggravating at the places where it was already there. But it also happened in the places where it was not experienced by women because of the loss of income, COVID-19 situation, quarantine stress, all such problems led to the rise of the problem. Officers, when we say that domestic violence has been intensified and multiplied, domestic violence cases में the most important thing is reporting. Reporting is very much important to give relief. If any of the application is to be served to the magistrate, the matter must be reported to the magistrate. Similarly, if a police receives a distress call, only then it can help the victim. So in such like cases, reporting is very, very important. Unless reporting of the domestic violence cases is done, no relief can be given to the victim. And it is during the period of COVID-19 situation lockdown that reporting phase went entirely missing. As the screen shows that police were overburdened with the COVID-19 duties, visiting home to the investigate domestic dispute was not considered priority. Domestic cases which are filed in lower courts, now they were open only for emergency hearings. So what happened? In such scenario, officers, victim became without voice. In India, situation was more grim. Why? Because many of the women, the domestic help, maids, they all lost their jobs. They were confined to the places. And when they were confined to the places, some of them had no mobile phones even. There is no internet facility. It is a survey has shown that in India, male persons have more mobile than the female counterparts. Poorer women were again at higher risk. They could not approach their friends and family. Increased stress level and anxiety, job insecurity, financial worries, lack of support from the state machinery. All such factors led to the rise, led to the surge, led to the increased and aggravated form of domestic violence against women. Officers, now we come down to the name shadow pandemic. Shadow pandemic is the name given by United Nations to the violence against women during the COVID-19 situation. COVID-19 ऑफिसर्स अपने आप में एक बड़ी महामारी थी, महामारी है, और इसी दौरान यूनाइटेड नेशंस ने कॉन्फ्रेंस में ये कहा कि डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन इज अ शैडो पेंडेमिक. एक महामारी अपने साथ दूसरी महामारी को लेकर के आई. यूनाइटेड नेशन सेक्रेटरी has called for ceasefire, that our homes at our war, please go for ceasefire. So this is the global scenario which we are going to discuss. Was it only in India, or is it only in India it is happening? No, it is a global phenomena. Everywhere, all 7 continents, all developed, underdeveloped, developing, all countries are facing this problem. Be it Mexico, Panama, Colombia, South American countries, Chile, France, Guinea, Paraguay, Brazil, Thailand, Philippines, Pakistan, Nepal, Myanmar, China, any country you name, every country has seen this problem a lot. And if you again try to concise the reasons for the surge, it is quarantine anxiety, economic insecurity, and the most important was weakened victim support networks. Every country faced this problem, officers, that the victim support network went entirely missing for few days. And then again, consumption of alcohol. Consumption of alcohol has a direct link with the domestic violence against women. It has a direct link. Now, many of the NGOs, self-help groups have criticized Government of India on the point that our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi addressed the nation 2-3 times during COVID situation, lockdown situation, but he did not address the issue of domestic violence. This is the criticism by various NGOs. This pattern is a global pattern, as I have discussed earlier in previous slides. See, officers, now. In Cyprus, calls to similar hotline rose 30% in a week after 9th March. In China, Germany, and Italy, situation became alarming. Now, when a person faces domestic violence, a woman is facing domestic violence, she is going to deal with various disorders. She is going to deal with acute gastrointestinal disturbances, diabetes, stress, depression, post-traumatic stress disorders. So all such situation, name it is a shadow pandemic. United Nations Secretary General appealed for peace in home around the world. Officers, please see the slide. In South Africa, there were nearly 90,000 reports of violence against women in the very first week of lockdown. ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अंदर जो सर्च इंजन है गूगल का लॉकडाउन पीरियड में सबसे ज्यादा इस बात के लिए इस्तेमाल किया गया कि डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस अगर मुझ पर हो रहा है तो मैं किस तरह से रेस्क्यू हो सकती हूं या मैं किस तरह से गवर्नमेंट अथॉरिटीज को अप्रोच कर सकती हूं. इन चाइना केसेस ट्रिपल्ड. सो ओवरऑल 243 million women and girls across the world have been subjected to sexual or physical violence. Officers, if I share you, I have read the news where it was stated that National Commission for Women in India received various distress calls where the girls were complaining the sexual assault and physical assault by their fathers and their brothers. Now, officers, we come down to the quick response initiative by the other countries. We accept it. It is a war situation. Our homes were not safe. Women were not safe. The problem multiplied, it intensified, it aggravated. But various countries responded immediately that what all measures can we take to give relief to the victim, to give relief to the complainant. So those measures which have been adopted have been stated to be quick response initiative by other countries. Let us see what other countries have adopted, what mechanism has been adopted by them. The UK government have stated that if a woman escapes during lockdown period, it will not be considered as breaking down the lockdown regulations. अगर मैं पीड़ित हूं, भाग रही हूं, तो लॉकडाउन का मैंने कोई उल्लंघन नहीं किया है. That was a UK government. In Spain, what did they say? कि if a woman would go to pharmacy or some chemist shop and she would request for a mask 19, it means she is in help, she wants help. Similarly, in Argentina, if a woman would ask for a red surgical mask, it would again show the same thing, that is, she needs help and she is again a victim of domestic violence. In France, what they did, that government paid for the hotel accommodations so that domestic violence victims can be stayed there as a temporary shelter homes. Again, a lot of fund was spent there. In Italy, it was stated, court observed that abuser must leave the family immediately. In Germany, safe houses were created. And very important, officer is now here to understand, many of the countries declared that whatever are the protection and assistance services to victim of gender bias violence. Please pay attention. Whatever are the services of protection and assistance services like shelter homes, protection officers, ये सारी essential services मानी जाएं, meaning thereby that if there is an emergency situation like COVID-19 lockdown, their services would not be suspended. This is a very important initiative taken in New York, United States, that shelters would be categorized as essential services, so they would not be locked down. This is an important reference here because in India, when immediately lockdown was announced, many of the distress call for initial first week went unanswered because all offices were completely shut down as a preventive measure. So there was no person to receive those helpline numbers. In National Commission for Women or some other agencies or in shelter homes, everything was closed for 1 week at least. Emergency shelters opened in Portugal. And another very important thing is to be discussed is in Spain. Spain, what they did, they opened a chat service with geolocation. If I am a victim in Spain, I am talking to police. Police, while talking to me, would trace my location and would rescue me. Even if I do not state from where I am speaking, where am I situated. So while talking and counseling the victim, they would trace the geolocation and would reach a helping hand to the victim. So these were the various mechanisms which thought the government of their country thought it appropriate to implement during the COVID-19 situation. China, they published manuals, live stream workshop that how to help. Morocco, they opened the women helpline. Costa Rica, you are not alone. And such like things, such like campaigns were initiated to as a quick response system. Officers, I come down to what is scaremongering. Dictionary meaning of scaremongering is to spread a fake news, that you create fear in the minds of people by spreading a fake news. When everywhere it was in rise, the Union Ministry of Women and Child Development Minister, she stated, no. NGOs are scaremongering the people. No rise in lockdown, domestic violence cases against women during lockdown. It is a propaganda created by self-help group and propaganda created by various NGOs. But officers, let us go. I would not say that government failed. It is uh, um, too a word to say that government failed. Government might be ignorant first time, or I would say the government apathy. Government did not thought it, because see, COVID-19 was a situation first time everybody faced. India has a population, overpopulation. India is thickly populated country, and the police was all the time busy with dealing with COVID-19 situation. Government could not think of it. But if we say that government did not take any action, it is also not correct. But yes, in India, there was a rise in domestic violence cases. See, the various newspapers stated 2.5% spike of domestic violence cases. National Commission for Women received 1477 complaints. The most important is in April, 89% of total number of cases registered were of domestic violence. This is a data which we go through very quickly. Haryana Women Helpline stated that again 8% rise हुआ complaints के अंदर in 30 days of lockdown. देखिए March 23 to April 21, within the 30, 62 calls were received. And these 62 calls, see the category. Domestic violence, 62 cases, and rest are the other category. So these are the maximum complaints which were received by the police helpline numbers in Haryana. Similarly, in the Punjab, the chairperson, Madam Manisha Gulati, made a statement कि अगर मुझे पहले 25 कॉल आती थी, उसमें से 2 या 3 सिर्फ डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस की होती थी. But now, during this situation, since the time curfew has been imposed, all 25 to 30 calls relate to domestic violence. And the research was made by our premier agency, NALSA, National Legal Service Authority Act, which stated that Uttarakhand recorded highest number of domestic violence cases. Haryana is number 2 and national capital for Delhi is number 3 in cases of rise of domestic violence cases. This is the data released by NALSA. Now, officers, will come down to the very important aspect of this session, the judicial monitoring. How our judiciary monitored the situation? Here, see, we have 3 organs, Parliament, Executive and Judiciary. During the time of lockdown or during the time of an emergencies, all the three organs have to work in collaboration with each other, in consultation with each other, in cooperation with each other. Unless it is done and ensured, the problem cannot be addressed. Our judiciary was not lagging behind, and officers, first PIL is of Honorable J&K High Court. In this petition, the court on its own motion versus duties of J&K and Ladakh, Honorable Chief Justice of Jammu and Kashmir High Court took suo motu cognizance of the problem. And see, the lockdown was announced here. I want to emphasize, lockdown was announced on 24th of March. And on 16/4/2020, we have a complete guideline issued by our Honorable High Court, Jammu and Kashmir, by the Chief Justice of Jammu and Kashmir High Court. Now, considering the gravity of the situation, following immediate measures were suggested. What immediate measures? These are dedicated funding to be created by the government for COVID-19 situation, that is for the women who are victim of domestic violence. Tele and online legal and counseling service for women and girls. देखिए जैसा रिस्पॉन्स पैटर्न ग्लोबली फॉर्म हो रहा था, हमने इनकॉर्पोरेट किया designated informal safe spaces, that is grocery stores and pharmacies, where the woman can report without alerting the perpetrators. So this is now you have a connection why we discuss the global pattern, क्योंकि ग्लोबल पैटर्न पर जो स्कीम्स लागू हुई वो हमने भी अपने देश में लागू की. So designated informal spaces like grocery stores and pharmacies. Then immediate designation of safe spaces like any empty hostels or educational institution. Another very important aspect is great publicity to the act, to the safe spaces, to the helpline numbers. Awareness campaign should be started. And various authorities को directions दी गई. As I said that all the agencies must work hand in hand in order to deal with the situation. So court passed various directions to the various authorities. और वो various authorities थी Government of Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Department of Social Welfare, State of Jammu and Kashmir State Legal Services Authority Act. They were asked to give the status report and innovative measures taken by them, and also to see spotlight initiative taken up by the United Nations. Officers, यहाँ रेफरेंस आया है spotlight initiative by UN. तो आइए एक क्विक रेफरेंस हम ये भी समझ लेते हैं कि इसका यहाँ पर किस संदर्भ में यहाँ पर दिया गया और ऑनरेबल जम्मू कश्मीर हाई कोर्ट ने इसे क्यों कहा. Then before we do this, some of the other guidelines which were, see, very important is the E1. Just see, officers, all the courts of UTs of J&K and Ladakh shall treat cases of domestic abuse as urgent. And government was again given duty to give wide publicity through electronic and print media. Now we come down to spotlight initiative. ये क्या चीज है? Spotlight initiative, officer, is a collaborated effort of Economic Union and United Nations. September 2017, it was initiated with a minimum fund of 500 million euros, which were given by Economic Union. Everywhere, see, United Nation का एक एजेंडा है 2030 का, that is sustainable development of all. When we say sustainable development of all, it also means that by that time, women empowerment would be achieved, and also gender-biased violence should be decreased. So this spotlight initiative highlights the condition of women all over the world, takes measures to improve them. This initiative, what it does, it strengthens the country's legal framework, institutions, it promotes positive social norms, it increases access to support services of the survivors of violence. तो जम्मू कश्मीर हाई कोर्ट ने कहा कि स्पॉटलाइट इनिशिएटिव के जो इम्पोर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स हैं, कोई उनकी इनोवेशंस हैं, वो भी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर लागू करें. सो दिस इज दैट रेफरेंस. नाउ वी कम डाउन टू द सेकंड मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट जजमेंट during COVID-19 is All India Council of Human Rights and Liberties and Social Justice versus Union of India. This judgment is of 24th April. इन्होंने भी कहा, ये एक एनजीओ है जिन्होंने कहा कि there has been rise in cases of domestic violence and there is threat to the safety of women. And when this PIL was instituted in Honorable Delhi High Court issued notice to 7 respondents. These 7 respondents, again, we have to work hand in hand. Delhi State Legal Service Authority cannot work alone. It needs assistance of Ministry and Women Child Development, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Delhi, National Commission for Women, Delhi Commission for Women, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting of India for a wide publicity of the safe houses, helpline numbers, etc. So when Honorable Delhi High Court gave notice to all these respondents, they were asked to submit their status report individually. So all these government offices, they submitted before Honorable Delhi High Court their status report. And what was that status report? See, Ministry of Women and Child Development ने कहा कि हमने 4 लंबे घंटे का वेबिनार किया है जिसके अंदर हमने ये बताया है कि that there has been surge in cases of domestic violence against women and this webinar was conducted in collaboration with AIIMS and NASA. And officers, now you know why we and me are together here for this webinar, because this webinar also addresses the same issue and that is why it's a sensitization session for my judicial officers, because Ministry of Women and Child Development is organizing, NALSA is organizing such webinars. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare also stated that yes, we have given the psychological support to victims of domestic violence and helpline number was initiated. National Commission for Women, उन्होंने एक portal introduce किया, that is a complaint portal. It was introduced and where online complaint could be made to the National Commission for Women. Similarly, Delhi Commission for Women stated 3 NGO run institutions and recognition to 14 women shelter. The provision of Shakti One Stop Center for Women is that has been initiated. Appointment of protection officers under Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. And wide publicity is given in the newspapers regarding these WhatsApp number and helplines. Delhi State Legal Services also stated before the court that yes, they have issued various WhatsApp numbers and then wide publicity to these numbers by radio jingles, newspaper advertisements. And again, see, Mother Dairy booths in Delhi have been converted as a place where the woman, if go to fetch milk, she can give the distress information to those owners of the milk booths. Delhi Commission for Women, उन्होंने अपनी रिपोर्ट दी, उन्होंने कहा क्राइसिस इंटरवेंशन सेंटर्स खोले गए हैं, मोबाइल हेल्पलाइन नंबर्स खोली गई हैं. अब देखिए, दिल्ली स्टेट लीगल सर्विस अथॉरिटी ने दिल्ली में क्या किया, उन्होंने मदर डेयरी बूथ्स, फार्मासिस्ट एंड केमिस्ट, इन लोगों की हेल्प से एक लीगल एड स्टार्ट किया, एक लीगल एड का मुहिम चलाया. उन्होंने एसोसिएशन ऑफ केमिस्ट ऑल ओवर दिल्ली, दे वर इन कॉन्टैक्ट We sensitized all of them to report back to us in case they come across any information about some going on through domestic violence. This is a statement issued by Member Secretary of Delhi State Legal Services Authority. Delhi Legal Services Authority also tied up with Anganwadi workers and ASHA workers who might come across domestic violence cases in their areas. So these are the new innovative measures taken by the Indian government. And in the final judgment, Honorable Delhi High Court observed that हमने status report को देख लिया है, and since all the respondents are working and monitoring those status reports, therefore no further monitoring of the case is required. But yes, they emphasized that please make temporary appointment of protection officers under the Act. The third very important judgment is Sudha Ramalingam versus Chief Secretary Tamil Nadu. ये judgment officers आई 24/4/2020 में, but I would like to make a reference here that this is the institution of this case is pre-COVID times. It was already there for I think 2 years before this was instituted. लेकिन इसका जो जजमेंट है इट केम ऑन 24/4/20. इट रिलेट्स टू द कोविड सिचुएशन, इट डेल्ट विद दैट आल्सो, बट इसका सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट था Sudha Ramalingam, she's an advocate. She filed public interest litigation. She stated, whenever complaints are filed before the magistrate, in a routine manner, what magistrate they do is that they say report of domestic incident report is awaited. Domestic incident report awaited by protection officers. So the victim cannot get the immediate relief. The entire letter and spirit of act is defeated, and therefore the government, the court should give directions to the judicial officers that they take these cases very seriously and do not insist the report of domestic incident report by protection officer. This was the basic thing in Sudha Ramalingam case, but Honorable Court directed that yes, Registrar General to issue circular to the presiding officers on the procedures to be followed while entertaining application under 12. और कोविड के दौरान उन्होंने कहा कि इस दौरान वो ये मेजर लें कि अगर इस दौरान अगर ऐसी कोई कंप्लेंट आती है तो दैट शुड बी डेल्ट एज एक्सपीडिशियसली एज पॉसिबल. I would like to make a passing reference of certain cases. डोमेस्टिक इंसिडेंट रिपोर्ट का, क्योंकि ये जजमेंट 2020 में आई है 24/4/20, लेकिन उससे पहले भी हमारे पास ऐसी जजमेंट्स हैं जो ये कह रही हैं कि डोमेस्टिक इंसिडेंट रिपोर्ट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड बाय द मैजिस्ट्रेट टू गिव रिलीफ टू द कंप्लेनेंट और विक्टिम. 2019 जजमेंट अजय कौल जजमेंट, शंभू प्रसाद सिंह जजमेंट 2012, Hari Krishan Ji judgment 2012, Abhiram Gogoi judgment 2011. These judgments are already giving reference that we do not require, it is not mandatory for magistrate to obtain domestic incident report, passes any order. Now, Delhi High Court ने कहा, वहां पर Ministry of Women Empowerment ने कहा कि वन स्टॉप सेंटर्स हमारे काम कर रहे हैं. What are one stop centers? Officers, one stop center एक stop center है women victim का जिसको हम सखी बोलते हैं. इसमें क्या होता है? Integrated measures are taken. It was first implemented on 1st April 2015 and first one stop center was inaugurated at Raipur July 16, 2016 and till date 234 these Sakhi centers are working. What are the objectives? To facilitate immediate emergencies situations. वन स्टॉप सेंटर्स ये क्या क्या काम करेंगे? देखिए, इमरजेंसी रिस्पांस एंड रेस्क्यू सर्विसेज, वुमेन हेल्पलाइन, एक ही छत के नीचे विक्टिम को कहीं नहीं जाना। दैट इज वाई वन स्टॉप सेंटर एंड द वर्ड इंटेग्रेटेड, वी हैव टू नो इट कि एक छत के नीचे अगर विक्टिम आ गया, वहां उसे हम मेडिकल हेल्प भी दे रहे हैं, उसको लीगल असिस्टेंस भी दे रहे हैं, उसको शेल्टर, फूड, क्लोथिंग मिल रहा है, उसको एफआईआर लॉन्च करना है या डोमेस्टिक इंसिडेंट रिपोर्ट बनेगी, वो सारी वहीं हो रही है। प्लस we are also giving the counseling and psychosocial support to the victim, video conferencing facilities. So these are called one stop centers. Now we come down to the role of NALSA. NALSA has opened online legal assistance services by panel of women lawyers in each district. So all legal services authorities are connected directly with the NALSA. So meaning thereby that all in India, now all legal services authorities act, the institutions, services authorities, they have now panel of women workers, women lawyers who are giving legal assistance to the domestic violence victim. Then NALSA chief Shri N.V. Raman also stated that one of the critical areas which came to our notice was rising incidents of violence within the family itself. We also saw increasing instances of child abuse. During such times when the victim cannot reach us, it is imperative for us to reach to them. Officers, he addressed the similar issue of रिपोर्टिंग। एज आई सेड इनिशियली, रिपोर्टिंग एक बहुत बड़ा माध्यम है डोमेस्टिक इंसिडेंट्स, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस इंसिडेंट्स को रिपोर्ट करने का, और कोविड-19 के इनिशियल फेज में वो पूरी मिस हो गई, और यही उन्होंने कहा कि when the time victim cannot reach us, it is imperative for us to reach to them. नेशनल लीगल सर्विस अथॉरिटी का क्वेश्चन बैंक भर गया कि आई एम अ वुमन बीइंग सब्जेक्टेड टू फिजिकल अब्यूज, मैं क्या करूं, मेरे को क्या करना है इन सच अ केस, whom should I approach to file complaints? See, during lockdown this was the guidance given, being women entitled to legal aid, nearest district legal services authority, and that is why time and again I am emphasizing all legal aid CGMs have done a commendable job during the lockdown period. All our institutions of NALSA and district legal services authorities that have done very commendable task during the lockdown period to protect the victims of domestic violence under the Protection of Women for Protection of Women Against Domestic Violence Act. These were the various questions. Married woman, I have been threatened to expel, what should I do? Now, this is the data. देखिए, legal aid किस तरह प्रोवाइड की गई डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस केसेस में ड्यूरिंग द पीरियड 24/3 टू 31st ऑफ मई, 31st मई तक ये डाटा कलेक्ट किया गया नालसा के द्वारा। दिस इज द नेम ऑफ लीगल सर्विसेज अथॉरिटी एक्ट। नंबर ऑफ डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस रिसीव्ड, उन्होंने कितने इस दौरान केसेस रिसीव किए, नंबर ऑफ सच डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस जहां पर लीगल असिस्टेंस दी गई, और कहां पर वो केसेस मीडिएशन से, काउंसलिंग से उस एजेंसी द्वारा सॉल्व किए गए। दिस इज आंध्र प्रदेश। वी कम डाउन टू पंजाब, 132 केसेस में हेल्प, ये लीगल असिस्टेंस, 70 केसेस सेटल्ड बाय मीडिएशंस। दिस इज अ लेटर, वन स्टॉप क्राइसिस सेंटर फॉर वुमेन। देखिए 2016 का लेटर है जिसके अंदर लीगल एड सीजीएम्स को ये लेटर फॉरवर्ड किया गया था कि वन स्टॉप क्राइसिस सेंटर है, लेकिन 2020 के अंदर फिर से ये एक गाइडलाइंस इशू की गई, नालसा ने किया इशू कोविड सिचुएशन को ध्यान में रखते हुए, और डिस्ट्रिक्ट लीगल सर्विसेज अथॉरिटी को रिकमेंड किया कि जो भी गाइडलाइंस इश्यूज गवर्नमेंट ने की हैं वन स्टॉप सेंटर से रिलेटेड, हमें उनका पालन करना है, उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट करना है। Now, various guidelines have been issued. Various guidelines have been issued through the Honorable High Courts through writ petitions. Various NGOs, various self-help groups have suggested the government, suggested the Honorable High Courts कि हमें emergency situation को tackle करने के लिए क्या करना है. उन सभी जो suggestions हैं, I have summarized that suggestions in order to frame कि एक judicial officer को emergency response system में कैसे काम करना है. I would not say that it is these are the guidelines which should be it is I am just suggesting it, and I am telling you many of the legal aid CGMs have already must have incorporated it and they must be doing it, but it is how I thought it proper to share this thing with you, because these are the various things which I could take out from various judgments, public interest litigations, and suggestions of very good NGOs. See, every judicial officer who is on duty must have some functional mobile number, landline number of protection officers. Protection officers का number अगर duty officer के पास है, and they can be compelled through video conferencing to be present with the judicial officers while he or she is dealing with the complaints of domestic violence during the COVID-19 situations. And these numbers must be made public through radio jingles, local and vernacular newspapers, so that the woman can know that yes, in time of distress, we can go for such numbers. Notify the list of service provider. अगर service providers की list जुडिशियल ऑफिसर के पास है तो बड़ी हेल्प हो सकती है, बिकॉज इमीडिएटली सर्विस प्रोवाइडर में विक्टिम को हम भेज सकते हैं. Local police to provide all necessary cooperation and support to rescue and movement of victim of domestic violence. इसमें सबसे important point आता है officers last वाला. Legal aid CGMs to have coordination meetings. Coordination meetings have been very helpful in state of Jammu and Kashmir. क्योंकि coordination meeting से क्या होगा, police would know that this is a priority task to be given to them, and this priority task would also include the shelter homes, NGOs, various service providers and protection officers. When such coordination meetings are taken up by the legal aid CGMs, it would give more quick response to the victims of domestic violence. Many places, Anganwadi workers have been placed as coordinators. So the legal aid CGMs can also have a meeting with the Anganwadi workers and can in the meetings that can be said that if they find any trace of domestic violence cases in villages or in remote rural areas, that can be known to the legal aid CGMs. सी ऑफिसर्स, बार बार सर्विस प्रोवाइडर की बात हो रही है. सर्विस प्रोवाइडर्स क्या हैं? प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ वुमेन फ्रॉम डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस एक्ट सर्विस प्रोवाइडर्स की बात करता है, विच मींस जो सोसाइटीज रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्ट, कंपनीज रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्ट के तहत रजिस्टर है और वो एक हेल्प प्रोवाइड करेंगे विक्टिम को, लेकिन उनका रजिस्ट्रेशन होना अनिवार्य है. Then section 9 speaks of duties and functions of protection officers. Officers, here I would like to emphasize that during pandemic, अगर कोई section protection of women against domestic violence का उभर कर आया है, that is duties and functions of protection officer, and secondly section 11, that government to give very wide publicity to the problem. So the publicity has been a great issue, as I tell you, the reporting. Secondly is the protection officers. इन दोनों के रोल को बहुत ज्यादा emphasize किया गया. And then thirdly is the shelter homes. It is stated by Government of India that not government of India, The government of India has not been able to provide proper sheltering before COVID-19 and during COVID-19. That is why situation became grim, because shelter homes were not available. Even if a judicial magistrate orders कि इसको shelter home में भेजना है, तो उसके पास वो list कहाँ है? Because government ने कितने shelter homes को notify किया हुआ है? So it is during this time government ने इन aspects के बारे में सोचा that yes, we need to give more publicity to the act, we need to give more publicity to the various helpline numbers, we need to have a provision for online reporting, online complaints, and then appointment of various protection officers on the temporary basis. देखिए officers, here I would like to emphasize you section 9 subsection 2. Protection officers shall be under the control and supervision of magistrate. And then we have a counselors also provision. Rule 14 provides the provision of counselors, duties of government, shelter homes, medical facilities, that all medical facility would medical facilities क्या हैं? Medical facilities वो facilities जो कि state government ने notify की हुई, और medical facility aggrieved person को दी जाएगी किसके माध्यम से? Protection officer के माध्यम से दी जाएगी. Now officers, I would like to conclude this topic or the session with wordings of Honorable Mr. Justice Shri N.M. Ravana ji, who is Executive Chairman, National Legal Service Authority, NALSA. He says, future is going to be challenging. Let us stay committed. So we have to stay committed towards the problem. We have to remain sensitized to the problem. And I have always concluded my lecture of domestic violence that love should not hurt. Thank you so much.
So much, ma'am. I think your closing remark was actually very much required, considering the topic that you were addressing in today's session. Ma'am, I think now we can open the forum for questions and answers.
Yes.
I would request all the members to please put in your questions in the section which is available for question answer. They are available on the screen. You can ask the question over there, and I'll, being the moderator, will ask your questions to Dr. Kaushik, ma'am. Ma'am, we have got one question.
Jay?
It's not a question. I think it's.
Okay.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a question, I think, but it's a
Statement.
suggestion. It's a remark, rather.
Yeah.
The question is that, and the remark is that we always talk about domestic violence in respect to women.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times the men are also being subjected to domestic violence, but there is no provision as such.
Yes.
To take care of that. So
yes.
What should be done in those scenarios?
See, officers, I tell you, if you search domestic violence, then the Google is filled up with such cases. Mm-hmm. But I tell you, this is a protection of women from Domestic Violence Act. And you know, because my audience are judicial officers, aggrieved person is female only. I can't help it. It is the lady only who is aggrieved under the act. But yes, you are right. Time is changing. Very recently, our Honorable Justice, he gave a judgment in this 498 IPC case, where he said that yes, sometimes there are misuses of sections also. But see, here I would like to tell one thing, that spirit of the acts are always good. You know, beneficial legislations are made for the betterment, upliftment, and empowerment. But yes, it goes sometimes, it derails itself from the social benefit because it is being misused. Sometimes we try to victimize ourselves, even though I am not. Sometimes I may say, but that situations should not overpower the basic concept that women have been abused physically and sexually a lot during the COVID-19 lockdown. That cannot be ignored. There is lot of data available to me. Due to paucity of the time, I could not address the entire data. If I would have shown you the data, that would have become very dull, like a statistical officer sitting and giving the information of data. But yes, officers against women and men. Against men there were few cases, but for women the entire Google is full.
I think that's been I think it's been precedented from so many centuries rather that
Yes.
the men are known for this. But I think what the question was, I somewhat agree to that, is that times have been changing now. Earlier, the men used to be the one who used to go out and used to be the head of the family. Now things are changing, so I think that conflict of who is the head of the family, and sometimes I think the guys do get, do get go through a domestic violence. But I understand your addressal as well, ma'am, because I think the majority of are done by on women, and I think to cut the discussion, long story short, I think our act is all about women domestic violence and not about men.
See, here I would like to add is that God has created two, male and female. They are complementary to each other. If you are in a domestic relationship with your male partner, or male partner is in domestic relationship with female partner, they should respect each other first. They should respect each other's work. They should respect each other's assignment. If a woman is a household or she's taking care of, she's a house manager, she should be given that due value.
Absolutely.
Both are complementary to each other. Both should love each other. They should trust each other because they complement each other. If
I
a
think
woman thinks she is alone, she can do everything. No, she cannot. And if a male thinks he can manage the house of his own, no, he cannot.
I think this lockdown would
Mother
have
and father, role of parent, yes.
I think this lockdown would have teach a lot of us men, especially, that handling a house is not that easy.
Not
Uh,
easy.
it
And
is
domestic violence, इसमें COVID-19 में many of the officers must have experienced this. That handling house is the most difficult situation. Even the working woman like me has also experienced handling house is more tough than going office and doing our own work in the office. It's more
absolutely.
easier.
Absolutely. I've been, if I share a personal example, my family is not in the country right now. So I am the only guy in the house. I'm the only member. I'm handling the house. I think I can totally understand that, I always used to respect my family in terms of that they were managing house. But today I understand during the COVID lockdown that it is actually more challenging than working in the office. But there's no working hours for this.
See, officers, this basically was a sensitization session. I was not asked to deal with latest provisions and judgments, though I have entire latest judgments and provisions. Sensitization was actually required. When this topic was initially entrusted upon me, I thought, what is in this topic? But when I studied the data and I realized that this is an issue which needs to be addressed. We need to know that yes, what is happening around us. So again, I say respect each other.
I think your statement of love should not hurt. I think that's the best I think statement of the entire session that I would take forward. Ma'am, there's a question from Gurdaspur ADJ sir, Prem Kumar
Ji
sir.
sir. Ji sir.
Sir is saying that do you think that this act should be a part of the family code?
Sir, in this we have various judgments. Right now, that judgments are not available with me. It is on ebook of Chandigarh Judicial Academy site. where it has been stated in many of the judgments that this act would not be a part of a family code. It is a judgment, so I would not say against the judgment that it cannot be part of a family court, because the word used is judicial magistrate. फैमिली कोर्ट के जो प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर हैं वो जुडिशियल मैजिस्ट्रेट की कैपेसिटी में काम नहीं करेंगे. तो एक पूरा डिस्कशन है उस पर, पूरा 5 to 6 जजमेंट्स हैं. इफ यू प्लीज लीव योर मोबाइल, आई विल सेंड यू द एंटायर जजमेंट्स विच कंप्लीटली डील विद दिस टॉपिक कि क्यों फैमिली कोर्ट के अंदर डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस की कंप्लेंट्स को इंक्लूड नहीं किया गया है. देयर इज कंप्लीट डिस्कशन ओवर दिस पॉइंट.
Sure, ma'am. I think I will request Prem Kumar, sir, who's the ADJ at Gurdaspur. Sir, if you can just share your number in the question answer.
And sir, yeah, I would be sending it. It is in ebook of the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. It is there at the Chandigarh Judicial Academy website. The entire book is there where this the entire law has been discussed.
Ma'am, the next question is, the domestic incident report is prepared by the protection officer in a way that it is an empty formality.
Yes.
What can be done by the judicial magistrate to make it effective?
Even as a judicial magistrate, I myself has experienced the same thing. But उस समय तक शायद ये नहीं पता था कि protection officer is completely under the supervision of judicial officer. हम लोग कहाँ पर limited हैं? We are limited till the point that domestic incident report is awaited. It is awaited, be called for, awaited, be called for. Never ever we call the protection officer and inquire that why the three are similar. If we start calling the the protection officer in the court and ask him emphatically that previously you stated कि मेरे बाल खींचे, क्रुएलिटी में 4 की 4 रिपोर्ट में ही बाल खींचे हुए हैं, 4 की 4 रिपोर्ट के अंदर ही डॉरी मांगी गई है, एक डोमेस्टिक इंसिडेंट रिपोर्ट आई जिसमें अभी आई थिंक उसके बच्चा नहीं था, दूसरी में उसके एक बेबी था, तो उसने वो बेबी वाली ही पूरी की पूरी कॉपी की हुई थी. ऑफिसर इज नॉट रॉन्ग इन सेइंग कि डोमेस्टिक इंसिडेंट रिपोर्ट बिल्कुल साइक्लो स्टाइल बनकर आती हैं, लेकिन हम उसको इम्प्रूव इस तरीके से कर सकते हैं कि अपनी कोर्ट में जब हम बैठें तो प्रोटेक्शन ऑफिसर को अगर हम 3 या 4 बार बुला करके उसको ये बताएं कि यू आर नॉट सीरियस while you prepare this report, I think he would take care, he or she would take care that कि officer is very sensitive to the issue, मैं इसके पास routine manner में इस तरह नहीं जा सकता. If we call it, this is my suggestion. I think this only can be done, or you can write to the department of social welfare where he's under the control, that he has submitted or she has submitted 5 to 10 domestic reports and there is no change, even a single verb, single sentence has not changed. So that can be written, but I think these are the only methods which we have. But officers, I want to emphasize, protection officer is completely under your control and supervision. You can take action against that protection officer if he is doing a routine task in the court.
I think that does make a lot of sense, ma'am. Ma'am, the question is from Harsimran Deep Kaur.
Ji.
From Batala. The question is in regards to the procedure of maintenance under the Domestic Violence Act. The question is, what can be done where, in spite of many opportunities, victim comes at every hearing and the other party defies and does not appear. Some other party is ready to go to jail but not pay the maintenance.
This is there. This situation is there in 125 CRPC also. 125 CRPC, when we say that pay the money, he says इसने मेरे माँ बाप को जेल भेजा था, मैं 1 रुपया नहीं देने वाला हूँ, मैं यहीं खड़ा हूँ. ऐसी सिचुएशंस में देखिए, लॉ ये कह रहा है कि आप जेल में मत भेजिए. टेक द रिपोर्ट, एसेट्स की रिपोर्ट होनी चाहिए, उसकी इनकम की रिपोर्ट होनी चाहिए और उसकी इनकम को आप अटैच कर दीजिए. Even if the respondent is not on the in the court, if you know the income and that list is there with you, then you can attach the then you can write to the DDO concerned regarding the attachment of that salary, so that the recovery can be made and the maintenance can be given to that lady who is a victim in the court. But yes, I agree, judicial officers face these kinds of problems basically in 125 executions, 128 CRPC, domestic violence execution has always been tough for the judicial officers.
Yes, I think that does answer the question. Would raise the question. The next one. I would like to say one thing, ma'am. There are few questions which are being asked about that why the law is not against women and all. So, ma'am, I think on behalf of you as a moderator, I would, with all due respect to all the members who are on this call, I think the session is about talking about what exactly. We are not here to, suggest any changes or suggest any reforms in the current structure. So with all due respect, I would not like to raise this question because that is not the purpose of this session.
And sir, I would like to here tell you, there are many important judgments which have come in 2019. 10 to 11 important judgments have come in 2019, but my webinar was actually for sensitization. Yes. So if there is a suggestion from various judicial officers, that webinar separately can also be conducted for the latest law in the Domestic Violence Act, then connecting it with the provisions of the Act.
I think there will be some of the judicial members, judicial officer who would be interested in that. I think we will leave that to Chandigarh Judicial Academy to take the call on.
Yes.
And then, accordingly, we can do that. I think, ma'am, we are done with all the questions.
Thank you, and
sir. There's one, I think, compliment that has been, I should share with you. It is from Mr. Vineet Narang, sir, who's a CGM at Barnala. And I think I would totally agree with him because that's what I said before the question answer round started, that he's saying that you have made this topic so comprehensive and he's so thankful that, because you spoke for almost an hour on this. And actually, I think people who don't know that there were approximately, I think, 60, 70 slides that you had.
How many slides? 78 or something. Yeah. I did not count. I think it is around that only.
Yeah. So there was 70 plus slides. I think making 70 plus slides and having also to contribute what is not written in the PPT. I think it was a comprehensive session, ma'am. I think
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's the reason I'm saying I said it, that I would be really surprised if you get a lot of questions because you had already dealt a lot of aspects of this topic, ma'am.
So this compliment would encourage me further to work more hard and do my work to best of my ability. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I would like to give a vote of thanks, ma'am. I would like to thank everyone who joined us today from various districts of Punjab and Haryana and sparing their valuable time coming on this webinar, and with the comments that we have received in this question answer section, it is very evident that the session was very fruitful and comprehensive, and less questions is a proof that the webinar had achieved the 100% of knowledge sharing, and that is
no. Here I would make a little, it was basically a sensitization issue. Had it been relating to provisions and judgments, the questions must have been many.
I'm sure.
This is reality.
Sure. So thanks to everyone, and thank you, Dr. Kaushik ma'am, for sparing your time, sharing your wisdom with us. And I'm sure there are more webinars which will be lined up with you in the times to come.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you
in next. Thank you, everyone.
We'll close this webinar now.
Thank you.